Welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide Podcast, where we discuss and analyze your favorite marble sports. From JMR Marble League to I'll Go Do tournaments, we'll make sure you never miss the action. All marble sports, all the time, right here on the MSW Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide Podcast. My name is still, and will always be, no matter how many episodes that we do, Brendan.
And my name is still, and always will be, Commander Wolf. Except when we do sometimes where I call myself Jared.
Yeah.
In which case...
Man, imagine if we exposed your last name.
Yeah, well, last week you also called yourself Marble Guy, so you're not always Brendan either.
No, but I did also... No, but that was for fair enough, but that was for the switch up, because you were doing me, and I was doing you, and you use your nickname, and I use my real name, which is odd, because Marble Guy makes a lot of sense for a Marble podcast, and I actually go by Marble Guy on my GD streams. I call myself Marble Guy in my YouTube videos about Geometry Dash, but I don't call myself Marble Guy in my podcast about marbles. What?
Very strange.
You guys puzzle that out. Maybe you guys can, maybe I'll make the switch at episode 100. Speaking of episode 100, that's coming, guys, and I'm giving you an announcement. We're done with the SoundCloud. Not posting there anymore after 100. We're going to play it through to 100, so if anybody stumbles across the show on the SoundCloud, they will get to see like the 100 episode journey. But after that, we're just doing YouTube and all the places anchor posts, because SoundCloud used to get the majority of the listens, upwards of 100 to 200. Then the YouTube came out, and SoundCloud legitimately gets two listens per week. Because everyone, I think, went to the YouTube or switched to like Spotify. Because we didn't lose viewers, they just shifted platforms.
Right.
So we're going
and
to...
that's because the face cam and stuff started like on episode 50, and it's like we kept saying like, hey, you need to go to YouTube to see the cool stuff, and it's like, well, I might as well just go in there.
Yeah. So unfortunately, guys, we're going to be closing that up. Well, it's not really unfortunate to you. It might be unfortunate to literally one person who can just switch over to the YouTube. It's literally one view per week on the SoundCloud.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's just, that's a cool thing to me too, because it's like when I began, I put it on SoundCloud and I was like, this is where podcasts should be, and like that's where all the views are coming, and now it's all on the YouTube because we made so many advancements in our show. So I think that's really cool. But with that being said, I also want to remind you guys that episode 100 is coming up. So please, if you have a special episode 100 email in and title it episode 100, subject it episode 100, and please send one, mswpodcast@gmail.com. We want episode 100 to be half of us reminiscing and half of you guys reminiscing, talking about your experience with the show, talking like I guess I can give some samples, like tell us what your favorite parts of the show are, least favorite parts of the show. We're always open to criticisms. Parts of the show that you want to hear us talk more about or talk little about. You can ask us, this is a big Q&A. You can ask us Q&A about the whole last 2 years of our lives, of Marble Sports, of our podcast journey. Whatever you want to do, you can say anything about the show. And we want for as many people as are willing, for out there listening. If you are ever going to write an email, if you're ever going to write one, like if you we're going to write one email and then that's it until you die, please do it for episode 100, because that's the time that we can even hear from the people who just are content to listen and not write emails. We just want to hear something. Just say something, because we get consistent listens. So you guys are all out there listening weekly. So we want to know what you guys have to think. We want to know something, some little tidbit of appreciation, or just like, oh, I hate it, but I listen every week anyway, because why not? Something like, just something, right? Or my favorite team is the Jawbreakers, even though they're gone now. It's just something that we can know a little bit more about our different viewers. So again, that's mswpodcast@gmail.com, mswpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. And I guess also like email us like what your if you have a favorite episode, or like let us know about that. Like I'm trying to go back and like listen to some of my favorite episodes, trying to talk about them. But, like, so if you send one in time, I can go back and listen to it. And like if you have a specific clip you like put an episode number and a timestamp for the clip, like definitely do that. Because I want to know like what moments are the most important to you, like which ones stuck out and do you cherish the most?
Yeah, that would be actually that. Let's make that the reigning question for anyone who emails in, even the regulars. Favorite episode and why? If you want to email in but you don't know what to say, favorite episode and why, and then among whatever else you want to say. So, yeah, that's episode 100 is coming, and I'm so excited for it. And I want it to be about our journey, but also your guys' journey, listening to me and Waf just babble on about whatever it is that we think we know about. So, yeah, I had like some random stuff to just talk about to fill the intro, but we kind of filled it with all the episode 100 stuff. So I think we're just gonna go to the news. Johnny Marble's here. Yeah. Johnny Marble's available. Let's hear what he has to say, and when we come back, we'll be talking a little bit. We'll head into that mailbag, and then we'll probably be talking a little bit about why you shouldn't get overexcited about the Indigo Stars winning the sand race. So let's go to Johnny Marble.
Hello, Marble Sports fans! I am Johnny Marble, and as always, I'm coming to you from MSW, sponsored by the Marble Hotel. Wherever you roll, we'll be there. Race 3 of the Racing Marble Leagues marked the return of the Beaverton Corners course, and it was quite interesting. To start off, this was the first race this season that Crimson Lady didn't start in the pole position, which gave the Marbles an even greater opportunity to get some points in. The main battle was between Victoria's Secret and El Sol, with the two holding a solid lead over the other for a few laps, but then quickly being overtaken after even the slightest of mistakes. It was an intense competition, and in the end, Victoria's Secret came in first, followed by El Sol in second and Rampage in third. We've reached the halfway point of the season, and while there is still an opportunity for the standings to get shaken up, the Marbles near the bottom are going to need to pull out all the stops if they won't even have a shot at the podium. Well, I've been Johnny Marble. You have been the best fans in the world. Let's kick it back and continue now with the podcast.
The news is over, and so Brendan and Commander Waff are back. I was about to say Marble Guy, but I was like, no. I'm only Marble Guy when I'm not talking about marbles. We are back from the news. Thank you, Johnny Marble. I thank you every time now, because where would we be without Johnny Marble? Not as far. I'm not even going to let you guys answer. I'm going to answer that one for you. So I was just saying to Waff before we jumped into this, I just can't believe we're at episode 98. I cannot believe we're here. I really did not think it was going to get this far. I did not think that I was going to get to 98 when I started, because, I started the headphone mic and all that, and I was by myself, and I was like, I mean, this will be a thing that goes for a little bit and probably might die away, or, but we'll get like a good amount of episodes and people notice it. I did not think this would still be happening at 98, and like with the intent to go to 200, to keep going until me and Waff are dead. Yeah. I don't know, but I'm so happy that enough of you guys continue to tune in weekly, that we can continue to bring you our erratic and uncalculated thoughts on the world of marble sports.
Yeah, I want to save my reminiscing for 100 though, but yeah.
All right, well, I have enough reminiscing to go for 7 episodes. So with that being said, sure. Let's hear what you guys have to say. I'm going to remind you again, even though I just said it in the intro, email in mswpodcast@gmail.com. Email in especially for 100. Put a subject episode 100 if you're emailing in for that special episode. Either way, we want to hear from you. And the people that did email in, we get to hear from them now. Before we do the emails that we received in the email, some guy had to do a quote email through Discord. For some reason, email wasn't working or whatever. So we're going to read his email. The some guy is evidently in our live chat right now. So sorry, Super Yak. But here we go. Let's read his email. It is a doozy. And it's covering a topic that I'm very excited to cover. I got a little heat about this topic. There's another email regarding this topic. This is about Rapidly coming back for Season 2. So Super Yak says, Brendan and Waff, incoming a very, very long email about Rapidly. All right, let's do it. Okay, so listening to your discussion on Rapidly in episode 96, which I wasn't able to send in anything for then, unfortunately. I think there are certainly things to consider, but as a Savage Speeder fan myself, I have a difference of opinion. First of all, I will state my opinion. I believe Rapidly should be judged in the racing events and performances in ML 2021. If he does poorly or a different marble does significantly better, then replace him. If not, keep him. However, I feel like with a top half overall finish in the individual standings this season, the door is certainly open. Yes, Sorry, I scrolled it and then I lost it. All right. Yes, he did atrociously in the first. He did atrociously in the first 2/3. He did 4 times in a row. He got 0 points. Atrocious does not even begin to encapsulate what actually happened out there on the field. But I'll keep reading. I'll reserve judgment. I just judged, but I'll reserve some of the judgment to the end. Okay. It was horrible for me to watch his performances. Horrible for me too, because I personally I'm not like a fan of the Savage Speeders, but I have a spot for them. I have immense respect for their ability to always be first and the best. I would like to compare him though with the 3 other marbles in season 2. Mimo finished 9th individually. Origin finished 25th individually, and Prim finished 26th individually. Mimo had better points total of 53 than Rapidly's 42, which, by the way, Rapidly scored 42 points in Season 1 as well. But look at the distribution. We know that Rapidly had 3 last places, a DNQ, a bronze, and a gold with fastest lap. Mimo, however, had their first half performance overshadowed by not only their dominant win at the O Raceway, but also other bad finishes from worse marbles such as Rapidly or Azure. Mimo in Aquamarine placed 15th, only ahead of Rapidly, and Arctic Circuit Mimo placed dead last. Yes, they turned it around in the second half, but it goes to show that one can have a bad stretch and come back to form. Okay, let's continue. Now to Origin. Fair enough. Origin was 5th last season individually, 6 points ahead of Rapidly. This season, they were consistent in qualifying every race, but their highest finish was only 7th, which isn't horrible, but throw in the 10th and the 15th and you get 27 points. Is Origin on the cutting block for next season? It's not being discussed. Okay. Well, we'll talk. That's a good point. You raise a strong point, Super Yak. Great name, by the way. But there's a reason why I don't care about Origin. But I do care about Rapidly. And I did hint at this reason last time we discussed this. Waff probably remembers. But we'll continue with email. Very similar thing with Prim. And even more so, the reason applies here. 2 DNQs. One at a course they pulled and took silver in last season. And Prim isn't on the cutting block because of the season 1 performances. Here what I'm getting at is that there are others who are similar or better than Rapidly in points or rankings who perform significantly worse, 26 and 27 versus 42 points this season, who aren't in the heavy discussion list right now. Now on to part 2. If we determine Rapidly should go, who should go in? That's a good question, and I'm glad you actually provided some stats because we can talk this for a second. We have 3 choices, Swifty, Velocity, and Wizzy in the current reserve. I think it's Swiftly. Is it Swifty or is it Swiftly?
I thought it was Swiftly.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. If we look at each member's stats on speed events, we get this. Swiftly, 10th in the 2016 Sand Rally, 2nd in 2017 Hurdles, 12th in 2017 Sand Rally, 3rd in 2018 Ice Dash, 4th in Snowboard Cross, 4th in Dirt Race, 1st in Qualifiers, 3rd in Hurdles, 4th in Mogul, 5th in Ice Dash. I mean, that sounds pretty good to me. Yeah. That sounds pretty damn good to me, but...
It is Swifty, actually. It is just Swifty.
Swifty, okay. Velocity. 1st in 2016 Water Race, 3rd in 2020 5-meter Sprint, absent from 2017 in Reserve, and okay. 15th in Winter Marble League Speed Skating. Okay. Wizzy, 22nd in 2018 Snow Rally, 2nd in 2018 Sand Mogul, 6th in 100-meter water race, 16th in Sprint, 12th in 2019 Elimination, 6th in Winter Marble League, Snowboard Cross. Okay, based on these chats, based on these stats, I would choose Swifty. I would do! But I would choose any of these over. We'll get there. Wizzy is good at other endurance events like funnels, and we can't ignore the dead last in 5-meter sprint in 2019. Can we not? Can we ignore the 4 zeros that rapidly put up on the board this season? We can ignore those, but we can't ignore the dead last in 5-meter sprint in 2019? Super Yak, I love you, man, by the way. All right? I'm bringing the passion today about this topic. I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at the Savage Beaters. Velocity hasn't shown enough expertise to be in fair, and the expertise that has been shown, it is all from many years ago. The 15th speed skating, many blame as a starting gate issue. If you like, I can explain it in a different email another time. Ooh, keep them coming. Swifty has shown that he can handle speed events with ease, both a long time ago and in recent times. To restate my stance in conclusion, see what Rapidly does in ML21. But if Coach quickly decides to replace him, Swifty should be the first choice. I have a lot to say about this. I do. I'm going to defer to Waff, let him give his thoughts first.
Well, we actually have another email about Rapidly, so I think we should just kind of include this real quick, just so that we can have all Rapidly opinions real quick. I'll go ahead and read that for you if you want me to.
Yeah, I'll let you read it. You can get another email reading for once.
All right, so Guy with the Sax says, let me get this up here so I don't have to look down from my mic. Yeah, I think, so Rapidly be kicked off is the question, or is the topic, and it says, I think not. This is a ridiculous question. He's part of the team, and he has been for a long time. He's won 3 ML gold medals and 1 Marbula 1 gold medal. He's still a good racer, even if he hasn't been doing the best recently. After 5 years of decent racing against 3 gold, 1 silver, people want to kick him off? This is crazy. Well, thank you, Guy with the Sax, but I do have to say that 3 golds in racing is 5 years of decent racing is not correct, because ML is not just racing; it's also competing in like different types of events.
Yeah,
and those medals don't really have much to do with racing in some of the instances. Like, so I got Rapidly's stats up here actually. So 2016, 10-meter sprint. First place. Impressive, yes. But it is important to remember that a sprint and a race are not the same thing. A sprint, you just gotta go as fast as you can. That's all you have to do. But in racing, you have to learn control, drafting, steering, and there's a lot of other factors. So while being good at speed helps Rapidly, absolutely, it is not like an absolute indicator. And also, that was back in 2016. If you go forward, other individual events, long jump has nothing to do with racing. Speed skating, a bit more to do with racing, but it's also just on rails. And that was second place. So again, good at speed, but speed skating is still not the same thing as racing, especially since it's not the same type of track. Underwater race, first. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I mean, like, this is kind of, it should be obvious, but underwater racing is not the same thing as normal racing. Like, if you remember from 2020 ML, but like marbles who don't generally do, I guess, good with racing. Like, I can't remember how the hazers do with racing, but like I do remember very distinctly.
Hazers aren't bad.
In under they're not bad.
They're not a bad racing team. Absolutely not. Actually, I picked hazers for M1 Fantasy this year.
Okay.
They're a fair racing team.
Gotcha. But like, if you remember in the underwater race, or like I think it was called the biathlon in 2020, like both Momo and the hazers like did significantly better than all the other teams. But like especially in Momo's case, you can like look at them, like they don't do better in most racing events, and and it's just, this just goes to show like some marbles are just really good for whatever reason racing in the water. So I mean, again, the fact that it is a racing event does still speak to Rapidly's skill. I'll give him that. But again, it is underwater racing, so it's not the same thing. It's also just a straight shot as well. So I was like, and that was 2019, so a bit more recent, but still not the same thing as racing on a track out of the water. Summer Biathlon, 13th. So Summer Biathlon had M1 tracks in it.
Right, yeah. So, hey.
So, you know, evidence that they may be good on straight shots and on rails, but they are not, and even in the water, but when it comes to racing on M1 track, they are not that good. Sand Rally, individual, 5th. good, but again, it's sand. That's a different thing.
It's a different, whole different cat, whole different meow.
And like just getting into Marbula 1, I guess real quick just to recap. So for season 1, Raceway 2nd, Hive Drive 2nd, Greenstone 15th, Razway 7th. A decent haul, I'd say. Then we have ML 2020. The only solo event they did was the triathlon, which was 7th. They got 7th, so about middle of the pack. And then season 2, we all like it was 16th, 17th.
Yeah, I mean, there was 4
16th,
zeros and
3rd, 1st, 23rd. Or yeah.
I mean,
oh sorry, 23rd was the individual race or the practice race. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, well, that was god awful too. Let's not forget how bad that was. But we'll get into that. I just want to point out though. I want to address all that Super Yak has to say before I give my again final conclusion on this. He brings up other marbles here, as Origin and Prim, who both have a similar thing of having a. And first of all, I want to point out that Rapidly did not have a good actually, the season he had in season 1 was quite similar to season 2. Except there was not a lot of races. He only had 2 good performances in season 1. I guess depending on how you look at a 7th, but it's only like two podiums season 1, and then kind of drops off there. He had a couple zeros as well. It just wasn't as many races for him to, I guess, fail in. But when we talk about Origin and Prim, and you raise a really good point. You really do. We can't ignore this point. Why talk about Rapidly? Why get upset about Rapidly when there's Origin, who did better than Rapidly in season 1 and then way worse than Rapidly in season 2, and the same thing with Prim, in a manner of speaking. Why do we care about Rapidly more than Origin and Prim? And the answer is because the Savage Speeders are a better team than both of those teams, and not by a little bit. By a large margin, by a substantial margin, by a margin where I can care about the Savage Speeders and the 2 racers they pick, but I don't care about the team primary. I don't know. They're all bad. So, I mean, when you are like, oh, well, why don't you get rid of Prim? Well, there's no other good replacement for Prim. Team primary doesn't have any other good group of racers to offer. If you want to look at the O'Rangers, yes, I guess the O'Rangers are a much better team. They are one of the top teams in JMR, but that's more in the Marble League sector. They are not a great Marbula 1 team. And if you look at the stats of other O'Rangers marbles, they don't have a lot to offer as far as replacement racers to put up more points on the board, almost guaranteed. But when you look at the Savage Speeders, you get a, and you prove it here. You prove it, like right below. You prove it in the next sentence that you talk about in part 2. There are other Savage Speeders, not just one, that are good, if not better, if not a lot better, options than Rapidly out on the M1 track, at least with the qualifications. Savage Speeders don't want to get second place. They don't race for second place. They race for first place. They don't like being in second this year. They don't want to repeat that year. Any other team would be like, second place in Marbula 1, that's fine. They don't like it. They want to be better. And they have better. They have better. They have Swifty, who by very good stats. If you want to compare these, he's in top 5 almost every time when it comes to racing, except for 2017 and 2016. And those were early on, which means that he was in top 5 later on, which means he's a lot better. And recently, as he participated in the Winter Marble League. And he participated in 2020. Hurdles, moguls, 5-meter sprint. I mean, I know those aren't Marbula 1 exactly, but those all, getting high places in all of those requires a different level of skill in speed and agility across the different events. Moguls are way different from 5-meter sprint, are way different from hurdles, and Ice Dash is also its own cat. So, I mean, he's got a lot of qualifications. And Wizzy's not bad either. You got a lot of rally, high finishes in rallies. He did drop off a couple of times, but he did do well in the snowboard cross, the 100-meter water race, which it's more endurance. He did all right. So he's got some qualifications, which show that he is at least an equal, if not better, option than Rapidly. Who, by the way, as Waff Red does not have great qualifications to be in this spot. And because the Savage Speeders, I know I'm going on long about this, Wop. This is my rant. This is the thing I'm on right now.
No, you're fine.
This is we've been doing this for like 5 episodes. This is the tear I'm on. All right, because Rapidly is on the Savage Speeders, because the Savage Speeders are an all-around good team. Every marble on the Savage Speeders will perform, or they won't be there anymore. We know that choosing a different marble that's not Rapidly, you're not choosing a worse marble necessarily. Most likely you're choosing an equal or better performer. And they're not going to ever settle for second place. So if I'm the coach of the Savage Speeder, I agree with your point. I see, understand, and respect your idea to let 2021 play out and see how Rapidly does. But if I'm the coach, if I'm the Savage Speeders coach, the guy that drove this team to be first in everything, first to win a Marble League, first to win Marbula 1, first repeat champion in Marble League, and you bet over anything else that the Savage Speeders want to be the first repeat champion in Marbula 1. They want to. And they have to go up against the Crazy Cat's Eyes. There were races that nobody even saw the Crazy Cat's Eyes. They were just off camera the whole time. Savage Speeders can't have that. So you bet that coach should try out, he's going to have to make a careful decision, of course, but you bet he should look into putting Swifty out there, putting Wizzy out there, taking a look at changing it up, because they want to win. I'm gonna let that all sit there for a second. Listen, it's a tough decision in truth to do that. And to address this other guy's email, and I'm really confused about this other guy's email. I don't really know if he means, like, if he thought we were saying we should kick him off the Savage Speeders entirely, or just off the Marbula 1 team.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
Rapidly should not be kicked off the Savage Speeders. Rapidly is, compared to the entirety of JMR, Rapidly is one of your best performing athletic marbles. So he's not going nowhere. But I think they should try Swifty. I do. Or Wizzy. Honestly, I said Wizzy last week. I did not know Swifty had such the resume. But yeah, he shouldn't be kicked off for good. People want to kick him off. I said that. I don't know what I'm talking about. I love how if I say something to people, like, think everybody, listen, I don't know how much pull my words are having, but I will tell you this. I do think for Marbula 1, there should be a reconsideration. But anyways, those are those 2 emails. Waff, do you have anything else you want to say? Super Yak, I know you're live in the chat. If you have any rebuttal, you can throw that down in Discord or something. I'll respond to it. And guys, write in. This is one of the things I want to hear about. Should Rapidly be changed up for next season? Thank you for Guy with the Sacks for writing in and giving his opinion on that. As well, he thinks it's a ridiculous question. So I mean, sorry to engage in the ridiculous. So that's kind of my job description. But
yeah, I guess
yeah.
I do agree with Super Yak that, like, you know, if like other teams should be considering actually, you know, like replacing members and like swapping them out, because some teams could probably really do with like some like a marble that probably could do better. Like Momo really improved a lot this season compared to season 1, but I am wondering like if a different marble could do better. I think there's just like a level of experimentation that needs to be done, because like this is a new thing for all of them. This is only this is only the second year for a lot of these marbles, so it's like there's no precedent really for like who does best, unless of course, as we stated last week, kind of like, did they do trial runs with the marbles? Like, did they they test to see who is the better one to race? Like that's the big question, really.
Yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of the talk of testing would probably be more in role play than outside, because you think that unfortunately, it would be cool if like there was enough autonomousness that the Savage Speeders could on their own have an actual test of speed, like there's a Savage Speeders coach in real world that could be like, hey, Yella, work that into your schedule, test out, let me get this kind of test. But like that would require a lot more staff and time to be able to do stuff like that. Would be so cool, by the way, in the future, as if there could actually be designated coaches for each of the teams. And the coaches can like do things like be like, oh, I want rapidly or to compete or not compete. They can ask the community what they think, or they can be like, hey, we request that this week you take 5 minutes and time trial each one of these racers and give me the time so I can look at this data. Just stuff like that. Like maybe once a week or once a month you can request a small practice session where you're looking at a certain stat, and then you get to request who does what in which event. You don't have to plan that. You have to think about that and choose that before Marble League begins. Instead of during, but it would still be cool if you had a little bit of that choice added to it. So that right. I think that's something that's more 4 or 5 years out, but that would be such a cool addition. And I would hope that me or you, Waf, or one of the people, one of the JMRC people or something like that would be able to be one of those coaches. Though with Dion at the reins right now, yeah. I don't know if that's a possibility. See, that's something that, like, I feel like the JMRC would have gotten to in the next 5 years if they were still a reckoning force in the marble sports community.
Possibly.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, more emails. That's what I was gonna say. All right, so we have Alex, and Alex just really pushed it out today. 3 emails for us today, but I think they're all relatively different. So first one is subjected, I'm asking Math Girl out today, wish me luck. Alex is cool, says, I have saved over $80 to take her out to a movie and Red Robin. Oof.
Well, good luck.
Yeah, I hope that goes well. I hope everything that you wish for comes true in that moment. As in she says yes and doesn't walk away and be like, ew, you like marbles? Ew. By the way, if that happened to me, like if I was like asking a girl out and she was like, but you like marbles, that's weird, then I'd actually laugh. I'd be like, that's hilarious. That would be hilarious to me because like I don't know, it'd just be funny. It'd be funny to like see someone actually be that shallow. But no matter, I hope it goes well. Tell us how it goes. Tell us what movie you saw. Tell us what Red Robin you bought, I guess.
You bought a bird.
You bought a bird. So yeah, next email from him. So he says, if you get 10 emails. All right, Alex says, if you get 10 emails on episode 100, you do something special like have an email segment song, and I would help sing it, please, because I am the most often emailer.
Like, I have no idea what an email song would be for like first off, like I've like the trivia segment song. How do you even know how that happened? Like it was
time for the trivia segment. Oh, I don't even know how it goes.
So now it's time for the trivia segment. Come on now, let's go.
Oh, I went higher. Oops.
No, it's lower. Then it's higher. Like, the show.
I remember how that came out actually, because
like,
I requested music, and then you were like, "Oh, well, why don't I just sing music?" And I was like, "That's
like I had like the music in the background is like from a Pokemon game, so like, but I don't know why. I think it's because I picked it because of a meme. Like it was part of the Furret meme, and like I like that tune, so I guess we'll use that. Or right. I think S-Man recommended that tune, so I went with it. Like, but like I don't know what we would make a news segment tune, and like
we need to change that news music up, because if we ever do like get much bigger as a show, there's all those episodes that will never get monetized.
Well, like again, you just gotta buy a license for it, and it's not too expensive.
Oh yeah, we should do that. We'll get on that. We'll make it happen. But anyways, sorry, I realized I was a little bit away from my mic there for a sec, so let me come back so the sound is better. I realized my waveform is a little low. I just completely lost my plate. Oh, we're doing the 10 emails. Okay. You are the most frequent emailer, Alex. That is true. I don't even know if there's a close second. Maybe Richard, but you really do email in the most, and we really love that. So I want to do something for you. I don't know what that would be, but maybe some recognition thing. I don't know. Give us a big episode 100 email. Ask a million questions. I will say this. Here's something I'll say.
Get a gold star.
Sure. If we get emails from 10 different people for episode 100, remember, if you subject your email episode 100, that means it's for that episode. If you subject something else, I'll read it on 99. If we get 10 emails from 10 different people, we will do some email song. I'll have Waff do that. Waff, you're being volunteered.
I don't know if I can promise that. And also, my quality does have something to do with it's like I'm assuming like this would be something that we would do from then on, and like
no, it would just be the one time thing.
Just one time.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I don't know what I would do though, or what would the lyrics be? Like Brendan, like I don't even know how I came up with the trivia segment song. I honestly don't.
This is the lyrics: email time, email time, email time, email time.
But it depends on the tune that's going with it too. Like
I just made up the tune. It's time for the email segment now. Let's go.
Oh my
word! just copy paste the trivia song.
That was the email segment. Now let's head back. That did not flow right.
Yeah,
the syllables are all off.
That would be so funny if you just copy paste it. Oh no, we just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. I wonder who it's from. But Marble Edition. Okay, come on. Enough of the silliness.
Marble.
Back to the regular silliness. All right, so Alex has a 30 email for us. Actually predictions, he says. So, what are these for?
I think winners of ML21.
Winners of ML20. Oh, the top 5 for ML. This is his top 5 for ML 2021. Arrangers in 5th. Minty Maniacs in 4th. Crazy Cat's Eyes in 3rd. Rojo Rollers in 2nd. And Oceanics in 1st. What? Come on, man. Stop playing. Literally stop playing. Like that is quite a prediction. The only thing I could agree with there would be Crazy Cat's Eyes. What I don't agree with is the lack of inclusion of Savage Beaters. It's been 5 years. The Savage Beaters have yet to perform under top 5 in a Marble League. And if you think this is the year they're not going to do it, you could be right. But I don't think it's lost your.
I'll just say you must have lost your marbles.
Woo! Yeah, really. I don't see the Mini Maniacs finishing top 5. I do not. Rollers. We're gonna get to that because they did something in the Sand Rally.
True,
but listen, your predictions are tough to listen. Put those predictions into fantasy. Let that weird group of teams stay and see what happens. I guess, but I don't.
This is probably the most varied picks I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It could definitely get wilder, I think, but this is some of the wildest I've ever seen.
Yeah, you got the old Rangers, but then you jump over to Rollers and then Oceanics in there. Crazy Cat's Eyes. Crazy Cat's Eyes is a base pick, though. That's a basic smart pick, so I'm not against that. Anyways, last email from questions is the subject from Richard Hinckley, one of our longtime listeners. He says it's just 3 questions, so we get to answer these and stuff. So he says, what is your favorite ice cream?
Chocolate.
For me, it's hard. I'd say it depends, but I just have a lot of ice creams I like on different moods. Vanilla's good, of course. Cookie dough, mint chocolate chip. Sometimes chocolate's just...
Cookies and cream.
I'm not a huge cookies and cream guy.
Really? I love that.
I don't mess with it as much as you might think. I'm gonna bring this mic closer to my face. It's kind of getting annoying. Okay, there we go. That's much better. Yeah, I would say I don't know. I'm touching my mic during this, so it might come through weird. Yeah, I don't know. Mint chocolate chip's really good though. That's like I can always mess with that, right? Yeah, let's go to the next one. What's your favorite soda pop?
So this is I think Cheerwine is my favorite soda.
What?
Cheerwine, it's a very it's not a well-known soda, but it originates in North Carolina, and you can get it places like Cracker Barrel or World Market.
Okay, never heard of it.
It's pretty good. I remember them saying that they're gonna try actually selling in Kroger's for their 100th anniversary, but I don't shop at Kroger enough to actually know if that's the case now. But supposedly they're more widespread now than they used to be, but like best chances of finding like anytime you're at a Cracker Barrel, like it'll either be like the ice chest next to like the doorway into the store, or it might be on the shelves.
What does it taste like though?
It tastes like it's got a cherry flavor to it, obviously.
I don't know why I always figure like weird sodas they always go cherry flavor.
Yeah, I guess like I don't want to say like. It's hard to explain it. It's just so unique. Like I feel like a cherry Dr. Pepper would not actually be an accurate description. I feel like Dr. Pepper is too.
They make cherry Dr. Pepper, by the way.
They do. I don't think I've ever had it, but I have heard of it. But like, Cheerwine is good. Like definitely. But like I guess for normal soda, I drank Sprite. Like that's something that I've always drank as a kid. Like I know I can't remember. There's like something in the ingredients that are like that is healthy for you, that help you like can help you feel better. I think I can't remember what it is.
Citrus
in there,
probably.
but also,
Citrus is good.
Yeah, and then there's no caffeine, and it's also clear, so it doesn't stain your teeth.
Yeah. All right. That's cool. That's cool. I have to try Cheerwine. I really
Cheerwine, yeah.
Cheerwine. I personally, I guess beer's out of the question for soda pop, so I'm not going to talk about that. So regular soda, I would say Coca-Cola, man. It's just a classic. I really actually still like the classic Coke.
Coca-Cola is good.
Cherry Pepsi. I'm not a Pepsi guy, but the cherry Pepsi has its place. It's good. I don't mind a Dr. Pepper. Root beer's like a vanilla or cherry Coke is also all right. I'm not a Fanta guy. I don't love Sprite. I had a Sprite today because it's just been a long time, but it's like Sprite's like a once a month, once a year thing for me, something like that. Yeah, that's it. Those are the sodas. So what's your favorite fast food location?
Now, yeah, this one's a tough one for me because I'm not really sure. Like, it's hard to say. It's like, so I've been eating a lot of Steak and Shake, and also but I think In-N-Out is still my favorite. Like, it's like I will get like their fries and their burger. Like, I think In-N-Out is my favorite. I just don't eat there a whole lot because it's like it's more out of the way to get to.
Yeah. I think for me, it's got to be. I mean, Chick-fil-A is good.
Oh, dude, I haven't had Chick-fil-A in so long.
The chicken. I mean, they just make a good chicken sandwich. I know there's.
They do.
Yeah, it's just good. There's no getting around that. McDonald's is good. I think people always are like, oh, McDonald's too old and mainstream, so it's bad. But I think it's good. I think they do good with their fries, and like it's good. I mean, like there's a lot of I like a little thing about every fast food place. Like for Burger King is a different type of fry that I don't mind. Wendy's is okay every once in a while. I even had like Whataburger or something one time, and that was pretty good too. Every fast food place has a different little thing that I appreciate about it. But like if I was like, okay, I can go to any fast food place and it's just if I was like super hungry and I know the point of me going to the fast food place is to buy as much food as possible and just pig out, I'd probably go McDonald's, man. I'd have to go McDonald's just because like they're like when you're super hungry and your body is craving just pigging out on fast food, McDonald's is the pig out place. That is true. As opposed to like other fast food places where I couldn't necessarily see myself pigging out in like Five Guys or like Chick-fil-A, more just having a meal there. But McDonald's, I'll be like 7 large fries, 15 hamburgers. Let's just do it. Let's just put it all in the body, and somehow I'll come out alive on the other end. I don't know how, but somehow.
I used to really like McDonald's. I still like their cookies, but like
their cookies.
I know. Yeah, I know the cookies. I don't know why I said that. Like, I know, like they.
No, I said
like,
it like that. You didn't say it like that. I just wanted to say it like that because I'm stupid.
I wasn't sure. But they're 100% beef burger. Like, while I know that it's healthier, I actually prefer the taste of like their chemically made, like, their old chemical burgers. But like, I do want to eat healthier because like, and like I've actually gotten like I used to be really picky, but nowadays like I just kind of like I'll get like everything on stuff. But like I don't really like their burger with everything on it is just kind of meh, but like I actually enjoy a burger with everything on it in other places. So like not only does it like have more flavor, but it's also healthier because like you're actually getting more than just beef with like whatever chemicals they might have put in it or whatever. It's like also like vegetables and stuff, or not Yeah, vegetables.
Yeah, and I'm kind of a picky guy too. I like to like I'll try a lot of new things, and if I like something, I'll eat a ton of it. But like for me to try a new thing, I'm always afraid to try a new thing in public, because if I don't like it, to go through that awkward like spitting it out or just like not enjoying it type moment. I want to do that on my own, right? If I don't enjoy a new thing, I want to be like, ew, in the comfort of my own home, and then be like, okay, I'm not touching that again. Or try the new thing and then be like, this is great, and then be like, okay, now that food is good for public consumption. It's my weird life. But also, I've been trying to start to eat healthier too. I've been eating fruit for breakfast daily now. I've been trying to work. I mean, I've not been super healthy, but I've been healthy enough. Like just changing so that I have fruit every breakfast is fruit every day. It's good food every day. Plus dinner usually has some sort of vegetable in it. So I feel you boys feel pretty healthy. Go on. But with that being said, guys, that's man, this is like 40 minutes of the episode already. We just got through the emails, and we do have to talk about the race that just happened, just a couple days ago. So, yeah, we can talk it. Let's do it. Waff. I mean, usually we start with like a track rating. So if you want to go ahead and give that, I'll just start playing the race here on the YouTube.
Do you want to do trivia to kind of transition to the next segment here?
Oh crap! I totally didn't even think about trivia. Nah, let's do it at the end. We're supposed to talk about this.
All right then. Okay, so I guess I can't remember if you did track ratings for sand races, but I guess like this one felt actually like very similar. Like especially with that bridge over the crossing section. Part of me, I imagine they didn't actually like recreate an entire track from memory, but then again, like, oh wait, no, this track I think this race might have been recorded a long time ago, possibly. Because they did record it before the retirement. That's why the Hornets are still in there. So I think like it's possible that it's just the practice race from one of the courses from Sand Rally. I think that might be the case.
Yeah,
I didn't think about that.
I think it could be. They might have just thrown them on there afterwards. I don't know. I think the track was all right. If I'm going to do it out of 10, I'll do it like a 7 out of 10. It was a classic Sand Rally course. It had some okay features. The lighting was good. It had like that darker lighting, that darker sand look to it. So I don't know. I like it when they do it in that lighting instead of the really bright beige looking sand.
Agreed.
I don't know how they changed the light. Maybe it's like more towards the evening or something. But it was just a solid race. I do want to mention, does anyone notice, I'm going to go back here on the YouTube, did anyone notice at the beginning of the race, all the freaking flies on the starting gate? Oh my god, bro.
Also, I'm pretty sure this is a race from Sand Rally. It's like the starting section has that really sharp turn. That was in one of the races too. I'm pretty sure this is just one of the rally races that they just put the marbles into.
Yeah, just to have some extra content for a second. By the way, you also see how close visually the pinkies and the snowballs look in this one too. Because they're both there.
Oh, yeah.
No, unless that's not two snowballs, right? That's pinkies and snowballs.
No, that is the pinkies, yeah. And that's another indicator of it being an old video, because it's before the new uniforms.
Oh, yeah. So this one must have been really far back then. So my take on this race is that stop. Okay, this does not mean the Chocolatiers are going to be good this year. This does not mean the Rojo Rollers are going to be good this year. This does not mean the Indigo Stars are going to be good this year. This doesn't mean the Savage Beaters are going to be bad this year. This doesn't mean anything. In fact, this race, just delete this video. Because what this is, and especially now that we look into it, see that the Pinkies uniform isn't even implemented, see that a lot of the new teams aren't even implemented, this is an old video. This was probably recorded back in the fall.
Yeah. Apparently, actually, the Pinkies are gonna go back to their old uniform again. What is? I don't even know what's up with that, dude. But okay, all right.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, it might not be that old, but still, it's not like a super dated video. It's just a single race. If you go into role play, you realize that a lot of teams don't care about this race because they don't want to get injured or expend any extra energy because ML is so close. This just doesn't matter. It doesn't. You could have never had this race and it wouldn't make any difference. I honestly don't think that the Chocolatiers doing good in this race means anything at all. Okay? I don't. Especially, I just think a lot of teams didn't care. I mean, Crazy Cat's Eye still finished pretty well, and they're in a place where they don't really need to care. So like if they're finishing that high with an I don't care attitude, I mean, I just don't see how this is really a meaningful race that we can pull out any sort of like identity from.
I mean, you're not wrong. Like practice races are not the same thing as a full blown race. Like the pressure isn't on, and some teams don't try as hard. But like I think it is still it should still be mentioned like how smart like the Indigo Stars racing was. Like specifically like they took that lower line and they went from like the middle of the pack all the way to competing for the top 3, and then ended up finishing, and it was first, right?
Who?
In Indy. Yeah, Indy from the Indigo Stars. They finished first place in this race in the end, and that's because like they took advantage of the bottom lane. They zoomed past. Like they had really smart racing. So like I think that is still an indication of something, like that the Indigo Stars are racing smarter than they were before.
Anybody can race smart when half the competitors aren't really trying to win.
Sure, it is. I do agree with you. Like again, like practice race, it's not going to be an indicator of much, really, of anything. But like, I still think that like it's like at the very least, it's important to keep an eye on them. Maybe not like don't start celebrating just yet, but like definitely like they're not. I don't think they're out of the race just yet. I think they actually could potentially have a chance here.
Well, for sure. And I don't want you guys to think that I think there's no hope for the Chocolatiers because they did good in this race. No. Every team has hope. Every team can do anything on any given day. I'm just saying don't be like, oh, my expectations for the Chocolatiers have skyrocketed because they did well in this race. My expectations for the Indigo Stars I said it weird on purpose, have skyrocketed because they did well in this race. And because any team can do good. And we've seen surprises. We saw the Mini Maniacs unexpectedly do really well last year. And I don't think they're going to keep that up, but they might. We just have to be careful not to let this practice race determine our new perspective on what this ML will be. Savage Speeders still going to perform well this year. Crazy Cat's Eyes still going to perform well this year. O'Rangers still going to be a reckoning force this year. In fact, they pretty much almost won the last ML. They really lost it in the last event. You know, Raspberry Racer still going to be valiant this year. Green Ducks still going to be a team to look at. Let me name the teams that you should be looking out for, because these teams are not going to let the Indigo Stars run over them. Team Galactic, Midnight Wisps, Mellow Yellow, by the way, had a good race too. Here,
Mamo's really been having a resurgence these past 2 competitions, like with ML and M1. So like I think like that's also someone to consider. I think that's probably the bigger comeback to actually take a look at, I'd say.
Momo's worth thinking about for sure, because they're a veteran enough team that if I would guess them to be the one to come out of their shell more this year than someone like the Chocolatiers, who haven't showed as much promise, or someone like the Indigo Stars, who are still kind of new. But I mean, I mean, Oceanics, by the way, have been doing pretty well too. I just want to point out that there are a lot of teams. Those teams that I named and Momo as well still exist even after this practice race, and they're not going to just be like, oh well, we did bad in the practice race, so this is not whatever. Let the Indigo Stars win. It's not going to happen. It'd be very, very surprising if O'Rangers, Savage Speeders, Crazy Cat's Eyes, Team Galactic, and Green Ducks, name a few more, all stepped aside and let the Indigo Stars, the Rojo Rollers, and the Chocolatiers hold the podium, or at least hold anywhere really in the top 7 this year. I'm not saying it's not possible. I think maybe one of those 4 teams that did well in this race we just watched could have a decent year. I'm not saying don't go to your fantasy team and pick Chocolatiers, Rojo Rollers, Indigo Stars, and for the hell of it, freaking Solar Flares or whatever the heck the new team is, just because you saw this race. That's all I'm saying. Be cautious. But you can still pull small bits of information from this. Rapidly sucked in this race by the end, but he didn't start bad. But then again, was he really trying? Who knows?
Who knows?
I don't.
There was there's also bug interference. Like remember the beetle one beetle stopped Yelly on the track at that one point. They needed rapidly to get going again.
Oh yeah. There was no. That was yellow. That was yellow, right?
Yelly.
Yelly stopped by the beetle, which is really interesting because actually Mellow Yellow probably would have won that race if it wasn't for that mishap, which also pulls into question, what if Mellow, and that's the thing, there was a thing on the course, just a random thing on the course that just stopped Yellow. And if that wasn't there, if that didn't hamper Yellow's movement, Yella and then Yell's marbles runs.
Well, it's spelled Yelly, like Yelley.
Yelly. If Yelly did not have that movement and won the race, would anybody be saying anything? Because if Mellow Yellow wins a race, well, Mellow Yellow's been around forever. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, they'll be talking about Indigo Stars getting second place.
I mean, fair enough, but like my point is, if Mellow Yellow wins a race, no one's going to be like, oh my god, Mellow Yellow's going to win Marble League this year. No, they're not. Because they know because Mellow Yellow's been here for 5 years and had good events and still sucked in Marble League. They know that it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, like...
So they wouldn't be talking about that like that, but because the Indigo Stars, we don't know as much about them. They do good in the practice race where the Crazy Cat's Eyes don't even try but get like 5th place. I mean, like, I just say be cautious is all.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I guess that's a good point. Like, the reason why people care so much is because, like, the Indigo Stars, like, rarely ever do anything. Like, so, like, seeing them do anything good is, like, monumental. And it's, like, all the fans of Indigo Stars come out of the woods.
Indigo Stars. We better take out the Indigo Stars poster we never ordered. Nobody ever ordered from the merch website. Sorry, by the way, to Indigo Stars fan. I don't even hate the team. Actually, I hate the Mini Maniacs and Indigo Stars. Those are my 2 least favorite teams. But
what?
I mean,
I thought you hated the Hubalino teams the most.
No, I don't hate the Bumblebees. I just don't like the Mini Maniacs.
Oh, okay.
'Cause the Bumblebees know their place. They did good in high jump, but they kind of chilled. Indigo Stars I don't like because they're an unnecessary team. The Purple Stars were a thing, and they left, and then they're like, oh, let's just bring them back, but name them something. I don't know. I don't feel like they're a necessary team. I feel like I would rather the Indigo Stars been retired than the Hornets or the Jawbreakers for sure, because they're a lot. Those teams are a lot more unique than Indigo Stars. And then the Mini Maniacs, like I said, Mini Maniacs are partly because I don't like that a Hubalino team came in and just was like everyone freaked out about it, and then they did all right. But partly also because, like I said, to continue to indulge the excitement of marble sports, it's fun to pretend to hate a team, even though I don't really like hate them. I just like, I don't like when the Mini Maniacs win, but I don't hate them. But it's fun to like be like, oh, I hate them, because that adds to like the lore and the role play and the excitement of watching. Because then I can watch to like the Crazy Cat's Eyes, but also to hate the Mini Maniacs, and there's kind of something nice to that. Just like how in regular sports, people are like, oh, I love the Mets for baseball, I hate the Yankees. And you're like, why? Well, I don't really hate anybody on the Yankees, I just hate them. So it's like that, so...
I guess we also kind of glossed over the Rojo Rollers, which, like, wasn't the last time they competed in 2016?
Yeah, it's been a long time for them. It's hard to peg them. As to what I'm seeing with them. They're a tough, and the reason they're a tough one is because we haven't seen them in a long time, so I don't know what I'm seeing. Am I seeing a fluke from the Rojo Rollers in this lucky turn of events, or am I seeing what the Rojo Rollers actually are? It's just unfortunate that we haven't seen them in a while for some reason, so we haven't really seen what the normal Rojo Rollers are, right? I don't know. I would need to hear other people's opinions on the Rojo Roller. I'm open to the Rojo Rollers more than I am to the Indigo Stars or the Chocolatiers.
I just learned their manager is Rojo Macho, and their coach is Rojo Cero, which is 0.
That's actually great. I like that.
I actually like that. I don't know about the Macho part. That just seems kind of out there, but I like the Cero part. It's like, yeah.
Rojo Macho.
Rojo Macho.
That's actually, I like Rojo Cero too. It's kind of like the coach is the base. But yeah, anyway. Last thing to discuss, solar flares. What do we think? Waff, come on, man.
So, I guess I like the name. They look kind of cool, and that's it. I don't know. I've learned to have expectations for new teams just because like I remember when the Jungle Jumpers were first introduced, like, oh yeah, I like this shade of green. I can't wait to see them do good, and then they sucked. So it's like I ain't getting my hopes up anymore. I was like, I'll just see what they do. I got no expectations.
The Solar Flares is a decent name. That's number one. The marbles look okay. That's number two. There's not many marbles in the JMR competition world that have this kind of blend of red, blue, and yellow like all over the place like that. And it's a different type of design. It's a type of marble we don't see often. So there's that. I don't mind a new team. I think a new team every couple of years is good. I think more new teams would actually be nice. Feeder leagues, I've talked about that. The Solar Flares will always, no matter how long marble sports exist, well, just at least for a long time, have a negative connotation because I understand that this team was not unanimously wanted by all JMR staff. This team was Dion created in a sense. He kind of pushed. He was like, "This is what's happening. Let's just get rid of the Hornets." Or whatever.
Right.
And I know there's
I
know there's some more complex drama as to the retiring of teams and the switching of teams, but because Dion did this without talking to staff, because Dion's decisions were not in sync time-wise and with the specifics to the rest of the staff, the Solar Flares will always have like a slightly negative, well, at least for a while, have a slightly negative connotation to me until things change, meaning that I don't want to see them get top 5 this year. I wouldn't really be happy with that until like 2 or 3 years from now. But I just don't, obviously we don't know how they race or play yet. They might be the next best team, which would be weird. But it's just the background behind it. It's kind of like a mediocre taste, unfortunately.
Yeah, agreed. It's all just unfortunate, but we'll see how it all plays out. I guess like they're planning on releasing the qualifiers sometime in the summer, so it can come anytime. I guess I would guess next month, but maybe more likely July.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be more likely July too. But I mean, I we'll see. Maybe I'll warm up to him. I like him better than the Indigo Stars.
I'm not going to say that. Because they've done nothing. I have no opinion.
We'll wait. We'll wait, and we will observe. We will talk. We will talk marbles. We'll talk Solar Flares in the future. And it'd be interesting to follow a new team and see how a new team does. With that being said, I think that's it. I think that's all the stuff we wanted to cover today, except for trivia. So let's just head into that now. So we're going to play that music, do that trivia, and then leave y'all to whatever it is you do when you're not listening to the Marble Sports Podcast Worldwide chat. All right, play that music.
Now it's time for the trivia segment. Come on now, let's go, go, go. Go, go, go.
Okay, I think the trivia music is played, so let's do the trivia question. I'll start with Super Yak's trivia, which, did he put in live chat? I think he did.
It was, I think it was in the MSW chat, MSWP channel.
Oh, okay, that's useful. Okay. Sorry, I'm yawning, guys. Late recording. Okay, so the difficulty rating, and by the way, Super Yak, I really appreciate the difficulty ratings. And just all, I love it. I love what you're doing with the trivia. Keep it up. Please keep doing this for us. Super Yak, difficulty rating for today's trivia question is in all caps. If you get this, you have my full and complete respect. AKA is extremely hard. The last 2 questions we did were very hard and were only rated hard in mostly lowercase letters. So I don't know what I'm about to read, but it's going to be tough. But I mean, like, me and Waff claim to be Marble Sports connoisseurs. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see if we can do it.
All right.
So the question is, after 8 races of Marbula 1 Season 2, 2 racers were in the exact same individual stage standings place and at the same number of points. as they did after 8 races of season 1. Name those 2. Oh, what? Do I have to just do this from memory? Am I allowed?
Obviously.
Okay, no, because this one's really hard, and because you have to know season 1 and 2. Do I have the opportunity to like look at either season 1's standings or season 2 standings? Do I have the opportunity to look at either one? Not both, because I would give it away. Just one of the 2. Is that Super Yak? You can say yes or no to that. Tell me. I know you're in the chat. You can tell me. Am I allowed to do that? Because if I do that, it won't give me the answer, but at least be able to like acquaint myself with some of the names a little better. But if you're like, no, you just want straight and hard.
We have permission. Okay, so you can look at one of them. But which one do you want to pick?
I don't know.
I think I would pick the season 1, just because that way we know what teams were even in there. First of all.
Yeah. I feel like I have a slightly more memory of 2 than 1. So we're gonna get to guys. We get to look, and this is I guess a hint. So, but it's still the question's extremely hard with doing this. So we're gonna look at season 1, only season 1. Final standings, because there was only 8 races, so it's just the final standings, right?
Right.
We'll see. Here we go. Oh my god.
It might be the Limers and Hornets. Like,
listen, I can rule a couple out. We know it's not Prim or Origin because we know they did much worse.
right.
It's
Oh,
not
is this for
rapidly.
individual marbles?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Shoot.
Wait, this is individual marble, right? I read the question right. It's individuals. 2 racers. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's two individual racing marbles. Racing Marble League. You should be watching that, by the way. Next episode's coming out tonight. I'm really excited. Or tomorrow, but you'll be out by the time you listen. Yeah.
Oh, it's right. Yeah, it'd be a different date. Okay.
All right. So it's not Prim or Origin. It's not Rapidly. So we can rule those 3 out. We kind of want a top heavy season 2 racer, kinda, in a sense. But there's so many tough ones. I don't think it's Yellup because Yellup was pretty bad this year. I don't think it's Bolt. Oh, it might have been Bolt though. It could be Hazy. It's not Snowy. Snowy had a tough year. Speedy's a possibility too. I don't think it's Speedy though. Is it? No. After the first 8? No. Wait, what about Mary or Vespa?
Mary wasn't in season 2.
Okay. What about Sublime?
Sublime, I think, was in season 2.
Yeah, but did he only get 1 point in the first 8? I don't know. This is hard. It's not Snowflake wasn't in season 2. No Rojos. I mean, they're my first inclination would be Hazy and Speedy. I feel like one of those might be right. But I feel like it might be lower racers. Not Lime. Lime did not do that good this season. Lime didn't get 24 points.
I'm feeling Razzie and Billy.
No, not Razzie. Razzie had the Raspberry Racers were terrible this year, right?
Right, but Razzie, at least according to season 1, only got 8 points. But Razzie got didn't Razzie get like?
I was looking at Razzie. Sorry.
Well, I guess like Razzie, they felt like when did they get points? I think it might have been past the 8 race mark. Actually, you might be right.
I don't know. I'm not leaning Razzie.
Yeah, I'm not doing Razzie more.
I think the Wisps did it a little better. This is hard. This is like I think Billy is a distinct possibility.
I'm gonna go with Billy and
No, it's in the exact same individual standings place, not the exact same number of points.
Right.
Which means what's Speedy in first? No, Speedy. Okay, so it's not Speedy or Snowy or Oh, this might be a little easier because I know Speedy wasn't in first after the first 8 races. Crazy Cat's Eyes were. Snowy was definitely not in second. Hazers were definitely not in third. Mallard.
Mallard was higher up.
Mallard in season 2 was actually ended around 8th as well. So by 8 races in, Mallard might have been.
Wasn't Mallard one of the ones in contention for the podium spot for individual by race 10?
I don't think so.
It was Mallard over Billy though. Like I know one of the Green Ducks was actually in contention.
Mallard was higher up, but not like in the top 4. He was like in the top 8. I think I'm gonna guess Mallard for one of them. Absolutely. Hazy, I don't think Hazy was that high up. Rapidly certainly wasn't. Origin certainly wasn't. Bolt was higher. No, wait. Wait, did Bolt win a race in the last 4?
I think. But I think it was only in the last 4.
Both points and rankings? No way.
I'll go with Billy and Bolt.
So equal points and equal rankings.
Oh, equal points and equal ranking?
I think Mallard is certainly a valiant answer. And then I think Mallard's the only one I'm even somewhat confident about then. And then I'd have to say some random like Shock. I'd go Mallard and Shock.
I'll go Billy and Sublime.
All right, the answer to this one is Shock and Starry. I did get one. So wow. I get half respect. I went with Shock because I remember Shock being a little bit lower. Shock and Starry. Hey, listen, I got one.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's really impressive. Gotta give it to you there.
Listen, I know it was partly luck, but I did think it through. And I just felt like, because I was looking through it, it's not Raspberry Racers because, I couldn't say Rojo Rollers, I couldn't say Bolt, I couldn't say Mallard, couldn't say Billy, I didn't say any Galactics, I didn't know much about Galactics. Momo was a little better, I couldn't figure it out. So the only, by my hackneyed process of elimination, I came to Shock. So, where's my Marvel Sports Connoisseur upgrade medal? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. If I had gotten both of them, yeah, I know. That's why I said no Rojo Rollers, because they're not in season 2. So I didn't think about them. Like I was like, those aren't ones are possible answers.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I guess my trivia question now.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited for trivia tonight. So give me a good one.
Yeah. My trivia question is nowhere near as good. So the last time the Indigo Stars actually raced in a sand rally was 2019, and Indy also raced in that race. So how much of an improvement did they make in terms of places from the sand rally race in 2019 to the practice race last week?
That's also a pretty good question, and that's a relevant question. 4? No. There's no way Indigo Stars finished 5th place in the sand rally. They finished 5th? You're saying that, Adu? Like, I'm assuming he said +4, but he might be just guessing. I would say more like +10.
+10? All right, the answer is +5.
Oh, well, Adu actually had that right.
Yep. Indy finished in 6th place, and that was 2019 sand rally in ML was actually a full-blown like sand hill course, not like one of the ones indoors, so... Like they seem to actually be pretty decent at sand racing, it seems.
Hey, fair enough. And see that. Oh, that's unfortunately. While that you may think the opposite, that backs up my point that we shouldn't get too excited because here's why. Here's why. We're gonna end on this. Oh, can we do the back to the play the music? But back to trivia show go the show play that.
That was the trivia segment. Now let's head back to the show. The show. Oh.
Okay, the music is played. It's been shoved in there somewhere. I want to end on this point right here. So as Waff just said, in the 2019 sand race Indigo Stars participated in, they finished 6th. They finished 1st in this one, which means, as Waff said, pointed out very astutely, they're a pretty good sand racing team. We know, yeah, who raced in both of them. We know that the Indigo Stars did not finish great in 2019 overall. So we know that even while being a good racing team, or at least for Indy on the sand, the Indigo Stars will not necessarily do really well in the Marble League. So we know even more information backing up the fact that the Indigo Stars probably, this is not meaning that they're going to do great in all of the Marble League just because they couldn't do good in the sand rally race. It's unfortunate, but actually with that extra information, thank you, Waff, that kind of pushes that thought process a little bit further. So again, be cautious when you go Indigo crazy.
Indigo crazy.
Waff, with that, I think, unless you have anything else blockbuster to say, we can bring this one to a close.
No, I think that's it. So, yeah, we'll head on out. Well, I guess once again, just a reminder, please email us about your favorite moments and maybe even favorite clips from the show for episode 100.
Please do. We love you guys. We do this every week because we know that there are people out there who marble sports is meaningful to them as much as it is to us. And we know that you guys want to hear things about marble sports. And you think, for some reason, that I am a credible source. Listen, my actual thoughts are that I'm not dumb when it comes to marble sports. But I'm very opinionated. But we will sometimes bring it back to earth. We bring the facts in, and especially when it's important, like with the JMRC thing. So we will in truth be hitting you with the facts as much as possible.
Oh, and, I completely forgot to mention something actually.
What? Go ahead.
So the thumbnail for the practice race was changed to a bunch of pyramids at one point, and then changed back again. And like Yellow like made a comment Reddit. It's like, yeah, that was Dion, and I also wasn't really impressed with it. This is like,
what is he doing?
Yeah, like, I don't
get it. Why? Physically, why? I don't understand why he's doing that. I don't, like, what is even his thought process that's do that? Like, what?
Cat's eyes are from Egypt.
But, like, I don't understand, why he thought that it's just pyramids. Like, there's nothing that says, like, oh, practice race.
So it had like the same, I think, banner that's on the current thumbnail, but instead of the image of the track, it was just an image of pyramids.
That's just so stupid. Like, that literally is, like, that sounds stupid to me. That sounds very dumb to me. Yeah, that's how it sounds. Like, it doesn't sound. It's not like, oh, I don't like Dion, so anything he does. No, that just sounds stupid to me.
Yeah,
like, I wouldn't. Even if Yella did that, I'd be like, wait, why? Just put the track, like. So
right.
Then we wouldn't even know it's marbles. Like, how do we know? I don't.
And then shortly after that, actually, Dion deleted his Reddit account.
That's funny, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, dude, I don't know what's going on with Dion, but
it's weird.
That's for another episode. Wrap it up. Wow, we're at 110.
All right. Roll on, Marble Sports fans.